can be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt.
And I'm Steven.
Whoa, hey, welcome back.
I'm back.
You're back. Where you been?
Briefly.
You don't live here no more.
We moved to the hills.
You moved to the hills. You moved to the hills.
Tennessee, baby.
Yeah, I want to say, everyone, this is Steven from the, I'll be honest, there's a short list of podcasts I will never forget and I always enjoy, and one of those is our Wheel of Time series that we did. Not only did I enjoy reading through the Wheel of Time, but I enjoyed laughing with the two of you, with Bruce and you, about, and it was your idea to reread these before this terrible TV show came out.
Terrible.
But
terrible.
terrible. But you got me to reread it, but then the thing was us talking and then laughing about it and having a great time with it, just having an awesome time with it.
Yeah, it was also during COVID, too.
It was also during COVID, or as COVID was coming on, I think. Didn't we start the first one without COVID?
Yeah, the first one
I think COVID became a thing.
One or two.
In between the podcasts, too. We still decided to meet up. It's just great times. It was great times. And I remember that was also when the ice storm hit.
Yeah.
I feel like we were still doing it for the ice. If this all fits in the same storyline, but y'all are supposed to. Y'all are going to come over and you're like, no, we can't drive in this. Like, I was thinking, how can y'all drive in this?
Yeah.
But I told my story. I can't remember if it was on the podcast or whatever, but I was like, oh man, they're really going to come. They're really going to drive. So it was during the ice storm because I saw you during that. Yeah. So anyway, because Dad's water pipe broke.
Oh, that's right.
And it was like frozen. It was like a water fountain that was frozen. Like, how does that happen? You know? But you had to stick your hand in super ice cold water.
We couldn't find the shutoff. It unfroze.
It unfroze. No.
Water.
The spew was going. The spew was freezing, but the thing was the water that the little sewer outlet, whatever,
the shutoff
was
valve
covered in water that was running, and it was bone cold.
Oh yeah.
And you had to stick your hand in there for a very long time, and then you had to turn it. Which the thing is, though, I would have a headache in my hand. Like I could, if let's say I wasn't doing anything, just to put my hand in the cold water and stay for as long as you did in it, I would die.
Yeah.
Because I know it wasn't. Because it was freaking freezing.
Yes.
It was freaking freezing. And sticking your hand in cold water is something I do not want to do.
Yeah. And the thing is it was not even as cold then as it has been the last few days.
I know.
Here. I mean, all over the dang country, man. I saw a map the other day that said 90% of the U.S. was below freezing. All at the same time.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was crazy. But anyway, I just remembered that. And but I said, well, they're coming tonight. So I said, well, I got to clean off because I mean, everything. The driveway was ice. The sidewalk was ice. Well, you know what? I'm going to clear out the sidewalk. You know, they'll probably. I said they'll probably drive up on the driveway or onto the. Everything was ice.
Yeah. Well, I was driving that big behemoth at the time.
You had the behemoth,
and I was not even about to try to go in your driveway.
Well, no. Well, I mean, I was thinking, okay, well, at least I need to clear the sidewalk. So I start clearing of snow, but the thing is, though, it's frozen ice underneath. There's like a couple inches thick of ice.
Oh, yeah, there was no clearing that.
So, yeah, there was, because...
Would you go out there with a jackhammer?
I got a hammer.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. And I did my first smack, and I did it kind of light, and I was like, oh, man, this thing's tough. And I hit as hard as I could, and then it cracked. And I was like, what? And then chunks were coming off.
Oh,
and I just started just pounding it with the hammer, and chunks were just flying off. I was like, this is... awesome.
That's cathartic right there.
Because I was like, yes, I was just breaking apart, and I was like, ah! And it got to be, like, the girls were watching me, but ice was flying everywhere, and Megan thought that ice was going to hit them in the eye and blind them, so she took them back inside. I was like, this is great. And then I'd gotten maybe just one little sidewalk square done. And y'all both text about the same, or no, maybe it was a group text. Hey, I can't make it. It's just bad out there, you know. Or Bruce like, yeah, me neither, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And then I came back in, she went, oh, you stopped? Did you fast? I said, no, but they said they're not coming. And then after a few minutes, I went, dadgum, that was fun. I'm going back out. And I did the whole sidewalk and some of the driveway.
There you go.
Before it got too dark, I was like, this is so much fun. But
I didn't even think about doing that.
Oh, I know.
I would have had fun too.
I know. The only reason I would have done it, the only reason I did, because y'all said we were coming, I was like, well, I don't want them slipping and sliding on the ice there, and
Yeah.
I said, at least have the sidewalk cleared, and that was just smack. I felt like Thor or something, just like with my hammer. I was like, yeah, I need a sledgehammer to just really smack that ice. But anyway, we had tons of laughs. We had tons of great time. We even did a couple of the series, the Silo series after that, and then the other series, what was it?
The one that you don't like?
The one I didn't like, which is why I've already forgotten the name. But we did it anyway, and it was fun. Those were still fun podcasts. Yeah. But the one that always will have a heart for me, a heart in my a place in my heart is the Wheel of Time.
Yes.
Because that was just so much fun. So, but you moved away.
I did.
Thanks for that.
Sorry.
We're having good times. I was
Not
trying to
that
get Bruce.
far away.
By the way, I was trying to get Bruce here tonight because I thought, it's time to get the
gang
rough
back
ride, the
together.
game back together. But he had to work, and Bruce. Everyone knows this. Bruce, I said this before on the podcast, has to work all the time.
Yeah.
He does, but now his job's a lot better. Meaning he still has long hours, but a shorter work week, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. I think he may have explained that one time on the podcast earlier this year. He switched jobs and got lighter hours, lighter a work week, I should say.
Well, he's not he's not having to travel.
And he's not traveling. That's the other thing.
He was having to travel 90 miles one way.
At least. I mean, he was going down south
every day. That was when he was going to Shreveport.
Front
and then
and back.
He was having to go to
then he was going to Alexandria.
It's not any closer.
Not any closer there. And the thing is, though, even though they were paying him, he was on the clock the moment he got in his car.
Yeah.
No, that's not worth it. No, I mean, it's not worth it to do a 12-hour, 14-hour shift and then have to drive an hour and a half. That's 16 hours in one day. Yeah. No, and they're paying him for it, but no. There are certain things that you just would not do. So you're enjoying it up in, you can just give me the state. I'm not going to dox you. What's the state?
Oh, I don't care. We're in close to Memphis.
Memphis, okay. Yeah. So, close to Memphis. It's nice up there.
Yes.
It's a really pretty area.
Very, very nice. And the reason I call it the hills is because, well, we're Louisiana.
There
are no hills here.
The highest section here is the speed bump in the parking lot.
You go to North Mississippi and in Tennessee, you're like, man, these are like mountains. My road actually has a slope to it.
Yeah, there's a little slope. Yeah. Oh man,
they blow leaves out. You don't have to bag your leaves there. You just blow them into
the street,
into the gutter, and just leave them there. And I'm sitting here going,
oh.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and all these leaves doesn't matter. The water just goes straight through them.
Washes
straight through them.
Washes them out too, probably.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't do that in Louisiana. You're gonna flood the whole neighborhood. You do that.
And the summers are nice, huh?
Yes, it's not quite as hot.
It's not quite as hot.
It still gets hot. But you have a decent breeze.
The evening is nice. The evening you can sit on your front porch maybe or something.
Yeah.
You could if you wanted to, or the kids could play a little bit more in the mornings and evenings and not be. Because I mean, shoot, at 9 a.m. it's cooking here in July.
Oh yeah,
and 9 a.m. you're done.
Yeah,
done.
But, I mean, it's cooking still at 9 p.m.
Yeah, it's
or
like walking into a hot sauna.
Yeah,
so there at least cools down and everything.
It cools down a lot faster there.
All right, that's nice.
But yeah, we so I've gotten into disc golf.
Nerd. I'm kidding.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's a lot of fun. I play with my brother-in-law. He lives up there.
Okay.
Cameron.
Oh,
Maggie's brother.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking which one of your sisters married your brother-in-law, but I forget your wife.
My wife
also have brother-in-laws through your wife. Yeah. Oh, dude, I like that man.
Oh yeah, he's an awesome dude.
I've not seen that dude in forever. It's literally been.
He was in Caleb's wedding.
He was. Was he in Caleb's wedding?
Yeah.
That couldn't have been the last time. Probably when you got married was the last time I saw him. Wait, did you get married after Caleb?
I was already married.
Okay, so Caleb was the last time I saw him then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
So in disc golf, and I know this because my nephews are big into disc golf, or one of them is. And I played disc golf, by the way, 20 years ago something, back in Texarkana.
Yeah, they played a long time ago.
It was a big thing up in Texarkana back in the day. I couldn't figure it out. There's a way to throw that disc to have it go distances. I
Yeah.
would throw my arm out,
I'm
hard
still trying to figure it out.
as I could.
It's not ultimate. It's not your regular old whammo frisbee.
It's a flatter
Well, there's
frisbee,
different kinds.
but there's a that's true. There are different kinds
for different throws.
But there's a way to throw it
Yes.
that's different than you don't throw it like a frisbee. And they
No.
were trying to tell me about the motion. It's like the swing, getting that power behind your swing in a baseball. I get it. I just couldn't figure it out. Like I would throw as hard and whatever I could, and I couldn't get. It'd go piddly, compared to them. It looked
yeah.
like effortlessly they're throwing it, and the thing's going like it feels like 300 yards. It
yeah,
felt
that
like.
was a little
I
bit-
mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
that far, but I was like, oh my god, how do y'all throw it that far?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like if you try to throw it the way you would normally throw a regular frisbee, it's gonna go way up high and then it's just gonna dump real fast.
Right.
And so it's gonna travel a really long way, but most of that is up and then back down. And
That's for me.
And it lands 40 feet in front
If
of
it
you.
rolls, that's the best
Oh, yeah.
distance I'm getting. If that sucker roll. In fact, I may have should have just throw it down the ground, just had it roll down.
I mean, there's times whenever you're playing that a roller is your best bet.
Oh, because the trees in the area.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you throw it in the middle of a thicket and you're just sitting there.
I did that
there's no
once,
line.
and it was like ping pong, the
Uh-huh.
wrong way for me,
Yeah.
bouncing off one tree after the next and coming backwards at me.
Yep.
Now, but there is time to get it and to bounce in the direction too. I've seen some people bounce it off a tree.
Oh yeah.
I've seen some tricky
They don't
shots.
usually do that on purpose, but
No, they probably don't. But I've seen some bounces. No, I
Yeah.
think they did. I think someone bounced off the tree on purpose, just to get it to go in a certain direction, just at the angle he was at.
yeah.
I-
There's a lot of times I throw it and I'm like, oh, please hit a tree. Stop. Don't get to hit a tree.
To get to stop anything.
Yeah.
All right, so you're taking up disc golf. What else
Yeah.
have you done
Uh,
with your life? Let me ask you this: what food is better there? They have a good barbecue place there. Or is it
people always talk about Memphis barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue. I've been making my own barbecue for years, and
Yeah.
I still prefer my barbecue, but I'm biased, I guess.
yeah.
It's good.
I felt the same way. We went to Knoxville, not Memphis. We went to Knoxville. We tried the barbecue there. I was thinking, well, this is good,
Yeah.
but it's not like, OMG, I have to, I will only eat barbecue here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which I have said that with like Mexican food in Phoenix. Holy cow!
Oh, is it?
Holy cow! They're feeding us pig slop here. Pig slop.
Wow.
Here. Pig.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to Phoenix
Slop.
because I love me some Mexican food.
Oh, it's really good over there. Like I'd be embarrassed to send them anywhere
that
here.
might be the only cuisine that we haven't gotten since we've been there.
Well, that's fine. There's plenty of other places
we might
to get
we
there.
might need to get some Mexican food.
There you go. Try it out.
We've
Who
had
knows?
several barbecue, and there's
been okay.
There's places that people are like, oh yeah, if you're gonna get barbecue, you need to go to this place. Okay, so we go. It's good.
It's good, but
But
not
it's
like,
not-
oh, this is the best thing ever.
No.
Yeah, and especially now you just
It's
said
not
it because
it's
if you
not
grill,
two dudes.
they closed here.
Did they really?
Yes, they did. His partner left him,
Oh,
and I think he just had a hard time running it by himself because he was
Well, it's
it was
not
the
a-
older one who was holding on to the candle. And I think he was just getting frustrated with all the managerial duties plus bouncing the bills because I heard one person managed, the other person bounced bills. I think he was the one
Gotcha.
that managed. And him trying to do all the bookkeeping too got too much on him.
Yeah.
But he kind of blamed it on low sales and stuff like that. But I think he just could not.
restaurant business is hard in normal times, and it's just since COVID, it's
Well,
gotten even worse.
he pushed through the COVID. Remember, he was the one that didn't know he adhered to COVID laws.
oh really?
No one was masked unless you asked for your waitress or waiter to be masked. He would not mask them, and 100% capacity.
Wow.
And he had a picture of our governor, Bill Edwards, on the urinal, and you could piss on him.
Oh damn.
He said, "I've got mouths to feed." But see, that's also when his partner quit because his partner was getting stressed out
Yeah.
during the COVID laws. So he just opened everything up. But it was. I think that's what it was. To me, it sounded like it was just too much on him. He said, "Well, people just aren't buying local." People, dude, I think you're just having too much pressure.
When
And
it comes to food,
yeah, and,
you have to kind of buy local.
well, no, I'm just saying like people wouldn't come to his restaurant enough. But I don't think that was it because he made business. I mean, they weren't banging it every night, but they were the best
Oh,
I
yeah.
was proud of that barbecue place.
Oh, it was good.
I'd throw that barbecue place up against anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I thought was excellent. And it's funny that I find the best barbecue place in my own hometown, which is really nice. And I've been to big cities,
You're right.
Dallas and Phoenix and Columbus and other places too. And I've been around Tennessee. And I'm not knocking their barbecue. There's some really good barbecue out there.
Yeah.
But the best I'd ever had was here.
Yeah. There's very few barbecue that I wouldn't eat. I mean, I'm not a very picky eater. I'll eat.
There's another place called Jack's or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's one
downtown West Monroe.
Yeah, that's good.
I hear, but no, everyone says, "Oh, that's better than Two Dudes." No,
No.
it's newer than Two Dudes, and you're all about the cult of the new.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it can't be better than Two Dudes.
No.
Two Dudes was the best.
Yeah.
All right,
A little
so
off subject here, but
no, it was way off the subject, but that's fine because we had a story to tell, and I've been trying to get this story out for quite some time. Caleb, a friend of ours, not my brother, but another Caleb.
yes. His last name will not be said as his request.
Oh, was it his request?
Yes.
Oh, screw you, Caleb. I'm kidding. I'll do it. That's fine. He wants to be left out. Oh, okay. All right. No,
Yeah.
I get it. Because I wanted him to come on and tell his story.
Yeah.
And he said he would, but I have to leave out his last name. Yeah, I guess so. I get it. All right. So,
You'll understand later whenever some of these details
it's
come
not
out.
a bad story.
Oh, it's a horrible. If you're a PETA person, just
Oh,
cut,
yeah, you need
cut
to
it
turn
off
off now.
right now. Spoiler, trigger, all kinds of warnings.
It was a different time.
It was a different
time.
This
He has a lot of friends that are animals. It's like this is totally. I can't believe I'm going to do this on. Screw it. Seth is going to come on.
Oh, is he?
Eventually, one day, he's going to tell his plant story.
Oh, Gary.
Yeah, but I can't say his last name, or we got to keep all the details
Yeah.
because that's a lawsuit.
Yes, it is.
And everyone's listening, going, "A lawsuit over a plant? Oh, you don't even know the half." And the thing is,
Wait and find out, guys.
Here's the thing: I want to have him on here because no one's going to believe him, but it's real.
Oh, it is definitely
It's
real.
a real story. It's just great. He said he would. I need to call him. All right. So anyway, so this is another one. This is one of the great stories I've been trying to get. Jordan, my own brother, who is in town. I totally should have gotten him because I even saw him today. I totally forgot we were going to talk about this, but he was there too,
Oh, yes.
and he could have told the story too. And I may have him on later on. But anyway, this is a great story that Jordan told me years ago. Okay, here's how it goes. About 4 or 5 years ago, I'd never heard the story before until 5 years ago, let's say. And I laughed, but I thought Jordan was exaggerating. And then we were doing the Wheel of Time, or our podcast together.
Yeah.
And then you started telling that story.
Yes.
And I went, wait, hold on. I said, Jordan told me this story. I said, did this say anything? Yeah. I went, no effing way did that. He's like, yeah, it did. I was like, shut up. Well, then I asked Caleb, whose last name should not be named. He went, oh, it happened exactly that way. So this is a story. This is a true story. And yes, if you're an animal lover, bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh, by the way, it's nothing that was against the law. I should say that.
No,
it wasn't against the
nothing
law.
illegal about this.
It
It's
wasn't.
just-
There was nothing illegal about this. There's no animal cruelty involved.
Well,
From a certain point of view,
there was no intentional
no
cruelty.
one would have been arrested. All right, go.
Not at that time. Not at that time. Now, maybe.
No, maybe now, but not that time. Well, I think they
This
would
was
have.
2001.
It was an accident.
Yes.
It was 2001. The school, y'all were in school, y'all were in
Yes.
high school, and y'all were going to visit a farm.
Correct. Our biology professor,
Yes,
he had a farm,
he had a farm.
and we were coming up on our All Saints Day celebration,
Right.
and he had goats on his farm,
Mm-hmm.
and he was donating a goat to be roasted and
And
served,
served.
at the
Yeah.
at the feast.
And just like any farmer, every piece of the goat is always used. Everything, farmers
Oh,
utilize
yeah.
every piece of it, and so he does too.
Yeah.
All right, so
Um,
this goat was slated to be fed at the feast.
Correct.
Okay.
And so as an added bonus to our biology class,
Mm-hmm.
we were to go out there, slaughter the goat,
Mm-hmm.
and then dissect it. And he was going
Yeah,
to.
it was good.
Yeah.
He was taking the advantage of taking this event and going, hey, this is a good teaching moment
Right.
to show people how this stuff works.
And I'd been out to his farm a few times before whenever they were processing chickens.
Yes.
And he was showing us all the different ways that, farmers in the past would slaughter the chickens.
Yeah.
And, there was this one that, he's like, oh, yeah, this is one way that they do it. And he picks it up, and all of a sudden the chicken's flying across the barnyard. And I was like, well, it's just running around. That's not going to hurt it. And then he showed me the head that was still in his hand. So, for all of you wondering,
farmers can be real life. Yeah, here's how life is, folks.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing.
For anyone wondering where the whole chicken running around with its head cut off, it really does happen.
Yeah.
They will run around
Yeah.
without a head.
It's freaky.
Yeah.
It's freaky to see.
Yeah. It churned my stomach a little bit.
It's good that the youth get to see this.
Yes, I was only about 12 at the time. Yeah. But I had to hold myself together because he had younger children there, and they're just walking around like it was nothing. They're over there.
Daddy took it off another
They're
chicken.
plucking chickens and stuff, dipping it in the boiling water and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, so we go out there. There's 5 of us. It's me and Jordan and Caleb. We're the older ones, and there were 2 younger guys in the class. Zach and Robert.
No joke. Zach was in.
Yes.
I did not know Zach was a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
We were all in the same classes. They did not even,
God
even
bless
though the
America.
age differentiation.
Yeah, Zach lives down the road.
Oh, that's right.
I could have called him over here too.
Oh, I don't know. He was pretty traumatized by this because at the time he was only about 12 or 13.
Zach probably wouldn't even want his first name on the podcast if it
Yeah.
was that one. All right, go ahead.
So we go out there, and the farmer, our biology professor,
Everyone knows where this is going.
he had already pulled the goat aside, and and he had it in a cage.
Yeah.
And so at the time I was not familiar with firearms, but Caleb, who grew up hunting,
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
and down south, I'm going to tell you this. The kids hunt with their fathers, and most kids down south do know how to be responsible with a gun by the age of 12. I'm not even joking there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very responsible.
Yeah.
They know not to
I'm
point.
sure
They know safety on. They know all this because their dad has raised them to do it. So go ahead.
I was not. My dad was never a hunter.
No, my dad wasn't a hunter either. No,
Yeah.
screw that. So
Caleb was the one, and so
yeah.
Biology professor says, okay, here's my 22. He had 1 bullet.
Yeah.
This is something I did not know until I talked to Caleb today. And I don't know who in the world has a 22 pistol or 22 anything, rifle, whatever, and only has one bullet. And we're at his farm.
He was probably out, and he didn't buy any extra.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. So
after the whole caveat of this is Louisiana and everybody hunts, anybody that's listening to this that hunts knows there's no such thing as only having 122. Like there's probably 4 or 5 22 rounds rolling around in my truck.
He's not going to give Caleb a fully loaded.
But yes,
22.
he gives him 1 bullet.
1 bullet.
So Caleb walks up to the cage.
Does he? I thought he asked. Did he ask? Does anyone want to do this? Did he ask? Did he ask for volunteers?
He probably did.
And did Caleb volunteer?
Probably.
I believe that's how it happened.
That sounds about right.
He was going to do it, but he said, "Well, just drive a volunteer if you." And Caleb, and he knew Caleb knew his way to go. He knew Caleb hunted. He knew Caleb was smart with a gun.
Now let me also put in here.
He didn't just give a gun to a little minor and
right. Well, we were all 16 to 17 years old.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You knew how everyone knew. So.
Yeah.
But also he just didn't hand this gun willy nilly to him,
right?
And who didn't force Caleb to do it. He just, I think it was a volunteer thing. So Caleb was going to do the execution.
Wanted to.
Caleb was going to do the execution.
Hunter,
yeah, he's a hunter. He's going to execute. So go ahead.
So he walks up to the goat.
Yeah.
In the cage, and the goat looks at him, and Caleb puts the gun through the cage, right up behind the ear.
Yeah. Where you're supposed to.
Told him shoot him right behind the ear.
Yeah, he told him where to go.
Caleb pulls the trigger, gun goes off, the goat looks at him, goes, "Meh," and then nothing. Like the goat just standing there,
Shot in the head. And
right
it's acting
behind
like
the ear,
nothing happened.
like nothing happened. And
I know the farmer was confused.
So Caleb turns to him and says, "You got another bullet?" Because that didn't work. He says, "No, I don't. So we're gonna have to use a knife." And he's a little flustered because I mean, the farmer has
the goat should have gone down.
done this before. He's also a doctor.
Yeah, we should mention
He's
that.
also our biology professor, and he's sitting there going, "This goat's got a bullet in his head, and he's not dead."
And he's not even in.
And so he's like, "Okay, he's probably suffering. We need to
Yeah, we need to do
we
this.
need to
End this
progress.
quick.
We need to progress.
End this quick."
So Caleb says, "Well, I'll get a knife." And so Caleb,
Yeah.
he's got a knife, and so we get him out of the cage, and Caleb goes to,
Knife him. Yeah.
knife him, without getting too graphic here,
Yeah.
and gets a little too enthusiastic. Not enthusiastic, but ends up cutting the trachea,
Yeah.
and so
Dexter style.
right, and so then we're like, okay, to help them bleed out, you want to drain the blood so
Yeah.
that it's not in the meat, because
Right.
this is for consumption.
Yep.
And so they hang him up. The goat stops bleeding and is still alive.
After getting
And will
his throat
this,
slit and shot in the head, the goat
This
is
goat-
still alive. Now, at
this
this point,
goat would not
if
die.
you're thinking about the number 666, the mark of the beast, if you're
Yeah.
thinking, man, maybe we just need to get a priest in here to kind of exercise this goat.
So finally, the farmer's like, okay, I'm taking over. He goes up there, finds the artery, as the killing blow, and the goat finally passes in peace.
After being shot in the head and had his throat slit, to where two deaths would have happened, the goat just could not die.
Yeah.
In front of all these kids.
Oh, yeah. No, the two younger guys, Zach and Robert, were inside the house by this point. Like, they were traumatized. They did not want any part of this.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
He won't die.
I mean,
Like Caleb
I
goes
felt
to
a little
sleep and he
queasy.
hears the braying outside of his house every once in a while. He's like,
Oh,
"Hey,
man.
honey, did you hear a goat?" No. Why would I hear a goat? I don't know. I just heard a goat.
Yeah.
God.
So finally, now the biology lesson starts, and we dissect it, and he's showing us all the different organs and stuff like that.
And it comes to life again.
No,
right, go ahead.
It's fine. It's finally done. Another friend of ours who is our age. He wasn't at school with us. Walker. He comes because he's going to take it to a buddy of his.
Oh, right. To get it processed.
To get
and
it
everything.
processed, but
Got it.
Walker wants the pelt. So Walker proceeds to show us all how it's really done.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he grew up in the country.
He's done this before.
Yeah, he's field dressed deer and
Yep,
rabbit
all
and
the
all that
time.
stuff, and like he just comes out with precision. And of course, the farmer turns and is like, "Well, we know who should have shot him."
And hence, Jordan is now a vegan.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he turned into a soy boy.
He did. Yep, he is.
I didn't
He's
think
been
it'd get
one.
any worse, Jordan.
I know. I'm telling you, he's been one for a while. But I think it started pescatarian. I can't remember, but it's full veg now. Yeah. Mom buys him veggies. Which, I'll be honest, today she made him a vegetable melody. Oh, maybe it was for Christmas. She bought him a vegetable melody of potatoes, I can't remember,
So were they
squash,
singing?
zucchini, onion, huh?
Were they singing?
No, medley.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, I loved it. I
yeah.
ate some with
No,
him. I
mean,
thought it was pretty good.
I've had vegetarian dishes, and they're delicious.
Yes,
the problem
potatoes,
is
sweet
that
potatoes.
I think I'm kind of the opposite. My
I love-
wife, Maggie, can eat vegetables all day long, nothing,
Yeah.
anything. I have one meal that's predominantly vegetables. It runs right through me. Right through me. That's
like,
the kind
like
of
a bullet
fiber
through a goat.
that's the kind of fiber that my body doesn't need any more of. So
Very good.
I'm
Very
a
good.
meatitarian.
Well, I just want to say we'll wrap this one up. But thanks for coming on. Stick around for next week's episode, of course, because we do these back to
Wait,
back.
hold
Spoilers.
on. I will say this goat was completely consumed.
Yeah, it was.
We ate this goat. Nothing was wasted. Pelt
Yeah.
was used.
Yeah.
Everything. So
Yeah, and you just put a PG spin on that story because there was blood everywhere.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, there
okay.
was. Because once
Will be blood.
Once the
It
artery,
was a goat massacre.
once the artery was already, once it was found. Usually you cut the artery, the goat kind of dies and is weak and everything, and then you string it up to drain all the blood. This goat was already upside down when the artery got cut. And yeah. There goes that PG rating.
It was like the elevator doors from The Shining opening up.
Yes. There was much thrashing about.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you were totally not getting monetized
Oh,
for this one.
no, I've lost all monetization value for this one. But anyway, folks, all right, we'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.